Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jamie and today we're going to talk about my February faves and flops. So I have a few products and most of them were pretty successful. I have one kind of product and a few fails that I want to talk about. So let's jump right into the video. The first favorite that I want to talk about is something that I've mentioned on my channel before, and it is the Essence Lash Princess False Lash Effect Mascara. This is hands down my favorite mascara of all time, and it's what I have in my lashes today. This has been sold out of Ulta quite frequently recently, so it's forced me to try different mascaras, and it made me realize what mascaras I don't like and how much I absolutely love this. So I can't stop putting this down, and I'm definitely gonna have to buy a backup next time because this mascara makes my lashes look so black, it's separated and volumized, which is what I really look for. So hands down a fave. I have one in my work bag and at my bathroom at home. So like I mentioned, I've been trying some new products. I did an Ulta haul, which was just posted last week, but I do pre-film almost all of my videos to make sure there's always content on my channel. So although I only hauled these products last week, a lot of them I've been trying for multiple weeks, so it might seem like they're mentioned kind of recently in my favorites, but I have been testing them out for kind of a while. So one of the products I mentioned in that haul was the Maybelline Snap Mascara. And I would just say I really like this. I find that it lengthens and separates my mascara, but it doesn't really give me the volume that I'm looking for. But if you're looking for separation and length, you'll 100% like this. It's a tubing mascara, so when it comes off in tubes. So it kind of looks like your lashes are falling out, but don't be alarmed, it's just taking off the mascara. I really like pairing this with the Lash Princess because it gives me nice separation and the Lash Princess adds volume. This is a great mascara for an everyday basis, and I really do enjoy this formula. Another product that I picked up fairly recently is the CoverGirl Vitalist Healthy Elixir Foundation, and you can see how much I've used this product. It's actually the foundation that I have on my skin today, but I mixed it with my LA Girl Pro Matte Foundation because this shade in Ivory 705 is the lightest shade, but it's still a hair too dark for me. I really do like this foundation. It's super dewy and provides decent coverage, and I find that it lasts a reasonably long time. When it comes to my work schedule, I usually wear my makeup for a minimum 10 hours a day. I work for 8, it takes me about an hour to commute each way, so I have my makeup on for a decently long time, so it's important to me that my makeup lasts for about 12 hours. And this foundation does just that. I do have to say, if you're sensitive to fragrances, this foundation has a very strong fragrance, so it might be something that bothers you, but I don't really notice it once it's blended on my skin. A product that's been an absolute favorite for me is this Flower Beauty Blush Balm in the shade Cinnamon. I also purchased this in my Ulta haul, so if you haven't seen that video, I'll have it linked up in the cards above, and I also did a get ready with me using some of those products, so I'll also have it linked up. I really do like this color. Because it's more of a deeper orange color, I find that it's like a multitasking bronzer blush, so sometimes I won't even wear bronzer when I'm using this. I find that cream products as a whole can be super intimidating, but I find that this is super easy to use. I put a few drops out on my hand and then I pat it in with my beauty sponge. I find that this is a super pigmented product, so like 1 to 2 drops is more than enough to cover both of your cheeks, and it really made me open my eyes to how nice cream products can be. I'd love to pick up this formula in a few different colors because I really did have fun using it, and I've actually used it on an everyday basis at work, and that's how you can tell I like something, because if I'm putting this on at 6 o'clock in the morning, that has to mean I like it. Another video that I did this month was when I talked about makeup that I bought at TJ Maxx and Marshalls. If you haven't seen that video, I'll once again have it linked in the cards above. And I mentioned 2 different palettes that I picked up there, a face palette and an eyeshadow palette. The face palette that I purchased is the Becca x Chrissy Teigen palette. And I do have to say, I'm pleasantly surprised with this. Chrissy Teigen is one of my favorite personalities. I think she's funny and I just love everything she has to say. So I was really excited when I saw this palette at TJ Maxx. I didn't originally buy it at Sephora because Chrissy has a more rich complexion than I do, so I didn't think a lot of the products would work on me. I thought that the bronzer would be too dark and that the highlighters would 100% not work on my skin tone, but I actually find that I'm able to get so much use out of this palette. The bronzer, if I go in with a light hand, is perfect, and it has a nice subtle sheen that really makes my skin look healthy and glowy. The blush is absolutely stunning, and it was my first time trying the Becca blushes, and I definitely want to buy some more. I find that the highlighters can come off at too deep, especially this one in the shade Beach Nectar, but I love wearing it as an eyeshadow, and I find that if I mix it with another highlighter, it totally looks great. This shade Rose Gold is actually not too dark for me, so I'm able to get some great use out of it. I'm super happy that I picked up this palette because upon initially looking at it, I thought it wouldn't work for me, but it's actually become an everyday favorite. Another palette that I wasn't planning on buying initially is the Becca Volcano Goddess palette. To be honest, when I saw this at Marshall's, I picked it up because it's Becca and I thought it would be a cool video to do on my channel. But I didn't really have high expectations. This palette has absolutely blown me out of the water and I'm so in love with it. I've used pretty much every shade of the palette, which is why I'm able to consider it a favorite. These metallics are so foiled and beautiful. I'm gonna do a quick swatch of a few of them. They're creamy to the touch and they have some really unique shades. This blue down here is actually a blue-violet duochrome, which completely surprised me because I thought it was your normal warm tone palette with a pop of blue. But you can see how pretty that duochrome shade is. These mattes are super pigmented and they blend really well and they just have this lovely creamy feel to them. I do wish this palette had more mattes, but because I have such a large eyeshadow palette collection, I'm able to mix this with other palettes that I have. If you see this at Marshall's and you're debating buying this, or at TJ Maxx, I highly recommend picking this up because I've had a great time using this and definitely have used it several times since. A product that I'm kind of indifferent about is the Physicians Formula Healthy Foundation. I mentioned in my haul that I'd used this a few times and I wasn't too thrilled. I've been testing it out since then and mixing it with different primers. I find that if I use this without a primer, it looks absolutely terrible. And I know you may be thinking, do you use foundation without a primer? And to be honest, I frequently do. The foundation that I have on right now doesn't have a primer. I find that primer is kind of one of those things that it helps, but it's not a necessity. I'll usually use it if I want to wear my makeup for hours and hours and hours on end, or if I'm having a super dry skin day and I need extra hydration. So this foundation without a primer is absolutely horrendous on me because I find that it really does accentuate my dry patches. This foundation also has a kind of off-putting smell, which I don't think anybody mentioned before. It reminds me a lot of the Wet n Wild Photo Focus foundation, which had that paint smell. It's just a little bit more toned down. The lightest shade, which I have, is an LC1, and it's still a little bit too dark for me, but that's something I'm able to put up with because I can mix it with a moisturizer or a lighter foundation. I like the doe foot applicator because I'm able to control the amount of coverage I get, but I don't think this foundation is as great as everybody said. I wore it the other day. I went to work and then my friends and I went out to see Jonathan Van Ness from Queer Eye because he was doing a comedy show. So I ended up putting this foundation on about 5 in the morning and taking it off at 10 at night. Now I know most people don't wear their foundations for 15 hours, but I do sometimes. And I know a lot of people have to work long shifts and they want their makeup to look flawless from the moment they wake up to the moment they have to take it off. This definitely settled in my fine lines and it did that at around 10 hours. So it progressively got worse. I find that it made my nose look extremely oily and my T-zone is the driest area on my face. So I think if you have oily skin, this foundation might not hold up for you. I'm definitely going to finish using this foundation up, but I think once I finish it, I'm not going to run out and repurchase it. It's nice, but I definitely can't consider it a favorite. And 2 products that didn't work for me were both mascaras. So as I mentioned, I ran out of my Essence Lash Princess False Lash Effect mascara, so I've been trying other mascaras. I tried the Essence Lash Princess Volume Mascara because I figured it's in the same family, it probably works great. This is what the wand on that mascara looks like, if that gives you any indication for how the mascara is going to look. But for a volume mascara, I found that it really wasn't volumizing. It's separated, but if you put on multiple coats, it looked like I had 2 eyelashes. And one time I had to go to Sephora after work and I was like, oh, I'll add some more mascara. And I went home because I looked like I had 1 eyelash and I couldn't walk out in public like that. Out of all the Essence Lash Princess mascaras, take the green one, ditch the red one because this was an absolute flop. Unfortunately, I bought like 3 of these because I used to keep mascara in my purse, my work bag, and at home. So I'm going to use these up, but I'll probably pair them with other mascaras because by itself, it does not work for me. And another mascara that I tried in lieu of the Essence False Lash Effect mascara was the Maybelline Total Temptation mascara. And I also find that this absolutely did not work on my lashes. It made them look clumpy and it separated them, but it didn't give me any length or volume. I find that the wand picks up an absorbent amount of product. You can see how much mascara is on there. So I have to keep cleaning off the wand and it's just messy and it didn't do anything for my lashes. My lashes even looked better without mascara than when I applied this. So I don't recommend this, but I know some people like this mascara, but for me, it was a complete flop. So those are some of the products I tried in February, which were favorites and flops. What's your favorite product that you tried this month? I'd love if you let me know in the description box down below. If you like this video, I hope you'll consider subscribing to my channel for a new video every week, and I hope to see you back then. Thanks for watching.